Hi everybody, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm gonna make a quick tutorial how to make a bass line for electronic music, and I'm gonna take the example of Boris Brejcha track Gravity. So first thing first, you have to set up your BPM, your tempo. In this case it will be 125. What I always do when I start a new track is to put a spectrum analyzer on my master channel. This one is the Voxengo Span, which is a totally free plugin to download on the internet. And then I put also a limiter from FabFilter Pro L2 with the setting almost clipping. Why do I do this? It's because later on in the process, when I will master my track, I will have some headroom, and I already will see when it clips during the producing and the mixing stage. So I already chose a kick drum. So what I did with my kick drum, I put it a utility to put it on mono. So it will sound like this, nothing spectacular. Okay, now what I'm going to do is create my bass line, and therefore I will choose the FabFilter 1, and these are my settings. So I think it's almost the same settings that Boris Brejcha uses for Gravity. So I choose the pink noise. I will put my scale on 16. My square form of my waveform will be the sawtooth. An important one is the frequency, so the cutoff. I'm going to use this later on in my automation to get some life in my bass line. And also my filter MJ will be a really important one in my automation later on. Further, I will put this on 1/16, and the waveform will be lowered to 0. Okay, so now we will listen what it sounds like. Sounds pretty good, so I will record this one. Okay, so I got pretty much of my bass line, so that's how I created it. Now I will listen to the bass line together with the kick drum. It sounds already really nice, but there are missing some elements to make it more alive and that it moves more. So you can play with your frequency, you can play with your filter MJ. Like I said, you can do this on automation, but I will show you the result when I do it just in the FabFilter 1 itself. You can hear the difference. Okay, this one sounds already great to me. So the next step is to put a sidechain. You can do it with different things. You can do it with the LFO tool, you can do it with a compressor, but I prefer to do it with FabFilter Saturn because they have a really great preset. It's called the Auto Sidechain Compression 01. You have two presets, but usually I use the first one. And listen now to the difference. That's with it, that's without it. Okay, that's really great. So here is my bass line created with some sidechain. You can do some EQing, for example. So I will use the FabFilter Q3. I will put one on my kick drum and one on my bass. And the nice thing with the FabFilter Q3 is that you can see where the frequencies are clashing. So for example, I am here in my bass. If I select my kick drum, it will show me automatically where it clashes with my kick drum. So I can EQ that a little bit. So I will do first some cutoff here and a little bit here. And you already hear the difference. Listen to this. without EQ, sounds muddier. Okay, so this tutorial is not about EQing, it's to how to create the bass line. So the EQ process you will see it in another tutorial. So I will do some basic same thing with my kick drum. Oops. Okay. Here you see the clash with the bass. Maybe I'm gonna put a little bit up here. So the muddiness is already gone for a bit, and then you can do some EQing later on. So this is my bass line, this is my kick drum, and the last thing I want to show you is the automation of my bass line. So I'm going to show you in a cutoff filter when you can play with it. For example, if you want to go to another section where you have a new instrument coming in, you can do this, for example, by putting the cutoff a little bit up. So I will show it in a minute. Here it is. I put this a little bit up and listen to the difference when you're going to come in the zone where I did the automation. You listen, you immediately have more life and more movement in your bass line. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe to my channel if you want to have some more IDM tricks. Thank you.